Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beneath the Hollow Moon. I'm your host, Kerrilynn Shellhorn. And you know what? We're just going to roll with it. Joining me is my co-host. We are my co-host and beautiful friend and colleague, Lorilei Potvin. Is here, and you are listening to us live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 in the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans. If you are enjoying the shows that you are listening to, watching, participating in, please head to uprntalkradio.com to find out more about the hosts and shows and upcoming things that we have going on. Please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing as well too. We appreciate all of your support. We also appreciate your patience tonight. We had a little bit of a computer techie glitch, but we are here now and doing fine. And we are going to be celebrating early Lorilei's birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Thank you. You guys, I'm so sorry. Everything that could go wrong with the tech went wrong, and it's still, hopefully we're not lagging, but we would have had a show where I was like 30 seconds behind, like we've sometimes had, right?
Yeah, it still kind of looks like it is a wee bit, but not like before. So that's good.
Oh, it was really bad before. And thank you for the birthday wishes, everybody. Really appreciate it. I turned the big 6-0 to, well, I guess right after midnight.
Yes. That's so it's like the crone. Do you feel comfortable with that term, crone? I do.
Crone? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? You know what? My thing is, I'm never going to act like I'm 15. I don't think that that's correct to do. But I think age is just a number. Like I will run into people that are the same age as me or a year or two older. Oh, I'm so old. And I go, I'm the same age as you. Embrace life. Age is a number, right? And we're both Leos. You just had your birthday a couple weeks ago, too.
I did.
Should we say
I was 54.
And you look beautiful. You do not look 54. Definitely. Should we say hi to everybody?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll try and highlight, guys. Nothing is cooperating. That's why we sent you a message and let you know. My partner's watching downstairs. He came upstairs as I was rebooting the computer, and he's going, "Are you guys not live? Like, what's going on?"
Hello, Cindy Waghorn from Surrender and Shine. She is wishing you a happy birthday.
Thank you. Were you going to say something when I highlighted that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to let everyone know that we were, especially for our audio listeners, that we are going to be talking about modern day fairy sightings and urban legends around fairies.
And I actually did, because we've been doing this recently where we pick our topic and we talk to each other almost every day. But the thing is, you kind of go off in what you're feeling, and I do, and we meet in the middle. So I do have some modern day stuff, but I also went into a little bit of the history. Now it's telling me it's not streaming, having trouble streaming to Facebook. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's not streaming to, so it's not streaming to the psychic medium Kerrilynn Shellhorn page at the moment.
It will be
showing different for you?
No, it's showing me the same, but we're going to play with it while we're talking here. So if you're on Facebook, hang tight. 1 second.
Pop over onto YouTube as well too. We are streaming from multiple platforms.
Okay, now we're going to do it again. We're going to add it. these are all the things I was doing behind the scenes too, because I had to restart. I had to restart Instagram as well. So now you should be live. Cross your fingers. There, you're live you're on your page again now.
So weird, folks.
Yeah.
Hello, Julie Jean Bassett.
I want to give you a huge shout out. I always do. We both do. She's an incredible animal communicator, has helped us both with both of our pets. So if you need help with your fur babies, animal babies of any kind, and you're tearing your hair out thinking, and I've been there, I don't want to have to rehome this baby, but I might need some help. She is your lady to go to. She also can communicate with animals over the Rainbow Bridge, and she's an incredible shamanic practitioner. She's able to do healing. Okay. He just keeps coming in here, interruptions, but hi, Auntie Jerry, we'll get there. I just heard that. So where was I? So if you guys want to check out Julia, I've had a shamanic practitioner session with her. It was life-changing. I highly recommend her. You can check her out for the pet stuff at juliejeanbassett.com. Shamanic practitioner is whitetailshamanichealing.com. See, Julie, I memorized that. And she has an animal communication course coming up in September. So Julie, please feel free to share that in the chat.
And Julie has been on both of our shows, the Angel Rock on Mondays, and she was on my show, Spirit Switchboard, last week, and we had like record numbers.
I'm so glad you said that. That's why I didn't say anything. I was hoping you were going to say that. Yeah, you kicked butt with Kerrilynn last week. You did. Record high numbers for her show. I'm so happy.
So you guys can listen to those archives and follow along. So hello, Contessa Martins. Thank you so much for being here. Astrolite Paranormal. Victoria, thank you for being here. She's also wishing Lorilei a happy birthday.
Thank you. And I see Julie did too. So thank you, Julie. Yeah,
hello, Lois Clark. Thank you for being here.
Oh, here's our Wiz.
Hello, Wiz.
Hi, Wiz.
Thank you for being here. So James Skrar, James has a fabulous music channel on YouTube as well. So
I got to check that out. Definitely. So then we have
Wiz Radio. Jody Schott, hello. Thank you for being here. Also wishing happy birthday to Lorilei.
Thank you.
Abundantly Empowered. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for being here.
So nice to see you. This is my life partner that was already popping up a few times, Adele, as we knew him on here when he was on here.
Happy early birthday to the fairy I live with the winky face.
We got Cindy Simpson.
It's my cousin Vinny. Hello, yes. Cindy Simpson.
You know what? You could give him a nickname because, and I've had this conversation with him many times. He can't seem to remember people's names. So he nicknames people. He has not nicknamed you, but he nicknames people. Like my friend Leanne, who has been on the Angel Rock numerous times, he calls her Atlanta because she lives in Georgia. And I keep saying to him, it's not that hard to remember her name. I'm Lorilei Ann, and she's Leanne, but he can't remember, and she's okay with Atlanta. So you could call him that, my cousin Vinny. He laughed. He seen the picture. I showed him that picture that she ran into somebody on a post.
No, we're not talking about how.
I'm just saying you ran into a picture on a post, and it kind of reminded you of Dell when you saw. That's all I was going to say. You should know me better than that.
Totally did. So Cindy Simpson is wishing you a happy birthday. Thank you for being here, Cindy.
Thank you. Thanks, Del, for reminding me. The cube root of 216,000. We got Corey Fast here. Hang on, highlight for me.
Hello, Carrie. Thank you for being here and also wishing you a happy birthday, Lorilei.
Thank you.
Michelle Wilfong, thank you for being here.
I'm going to give Michelle Wilfong a shout out, you guys, when we are able to stream to TikTok, because I found out what it is. TikTok punishes me for not using TikTok Live, and they can't with StreamYard. So I have to use another program. So they block us for 6 days. So next week, we'll be back on TikTok again, or whenever they allow me, I use it between the two shows. And Michelle's my she's my mod over there, and she's incredible. She lives in a haunted apartment, and that's the name of her TikTok channel. So check out some of the activity. It's crazy.
Kurt W75, hello, thank you for being here. They are saying, hey, Kerrilynn and Laura, hope.
Oh, sorry,
great.
Thank you. I went too quick.
Julie Jean is sharing, both you ladies look beautiful, not nearly looking your chronological ages. Both look much younger. Thank you.
Oh, so Jackie said she could still see you even though there was a problem.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Hi, Jackie. Oh, buggers. Now I'm just I wanted to grab that poem.
Go grab it. Go grab it. I'll highlight and read. You go grab it.
Okay, I'll be right back. There was a poem Jackie's aunt used to say to them about fairies, and they wrote it out and gave it to me for my granddaughter, Lily. So I was going to read it.
Well, go grab what you need to grab, and I'll just carry on. So Cindy Waghorn, Surrender and Shine. Maybe the elementals are being playful. Holy cow, are they tonight? Holy cow. Lois Clark saying Mercury retrograde, shadow. Sorry, it's not highlighting for me here. She said Mercury retrograde, shadow time still. Okay, then we're going down here. And Julie said to say thank you, and she appreciates us both. And we got Miss Heidi Gall, who's a friend of ours, as well as the network. Well, everybody's a friend here that's here. We love you all. She says, hello, Kerrilynn Lorilei, much love from Boulder, Colorado. And you're grabbing the poll? I think you are, right?
Oh, yeah, I've got the poll numbers.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
so
Cheryl.
She says, oh my God, I love your background, Kerrilynn.
Thank you.
You're back then. I'll let you read. I'll highlight.
Hi, Susan Parks. Thank you for being here.
Oh, and Julie said it was awesome about the numbers. She's super happy for you guys.
Julie Dow, it's so wonderful to see you. We appreciate you being here.
Okay.
Susie. We will say Susie.
Okay, Susie.
You are not in trouble for anything.
Not at all.
Oh, hello, Elizabeth Fisher-Waterlove. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, so this is Julie's animal communication course. I highly recommend it. I have taken it with Julie. She's got a beginner course workshop Saturday, September 20th and Sunday, September 21st from noon to 3 p.m. I know she's got some animal chakra healing stuff and things coming up, you guys. So check out her page on Facebook. I know, right, Julie, or your website, juliejeanbassett.com. She's a great teacher. Great teacher. And yeah, I learned a lot.
Abundantly empowered outside, saying hi to the fairies and hummingbirds.
Love it.
I love that. Kirby's 100. Hello, and wishing you a happy birthday, Lorilei.
Thank you.
Catherine Johnson, thank you for being here.
Oh, so what is the Dell saying here?
The Dell. My cousin Vinny.
Everybody calls him that, the Dell.
So my cousin Vinny is saying, should we have steaks and a ring of mushrooms for your birthday tomorrow?
Fairy rings. Sure. Well, I love his mom. I really, really do. And we went out for lunch. Her birthday's in July. We went out for lunch, just the two of us. And she hit me up to go out tomorrow. So Dell's going to work, and I'm going out with his mom. His mom's also a nurse. She was in university when she was getting her degree, but she was already a nurse. She just went for the 2-year program.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So on the Psychic Medium Kerrilynn Shellhorn page, I have the channel. So Kerrilynn Off the Porch is the name of the channel. And I was doing pretty good. I took a little bit of a break and back at it again. But I did put a poll up this morning just to see how many people believe in fairies. And the poll numbers were 134 people voted yes, that they do believe in fairies. 31 people voted maybe. Believe, and 19 people said no, they do not believe in fairies.
So that's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
We got some people on Instagram I'm going to say hi to. We got a few more. I'll try and go quicker. We got Ryan C. Jones, 77 on Instagram, and Joanna Garfey McNally you joined us. So welcome and thank you for joining us.
Hello. Jackie Collins, hello. Thank you so much for being here. And I also see Fiona Clark.
Yeah.
Good evening to you.
Mm-hmm. And I'll highlight
Julie. Doing well. Julie Jean is sharing other classes include animal chakras and healing through the medicine wheel.
Love it. Love it. We like to say hi to everybody. So something weird is going on. My pictures of Justin, the necklace first fell off. Oh, I see it broke on me again. And then it just fell off again. So we got fairies galore tonight, I think.
Fairies for sure.
Oh, we got Ryan from Riff Nation Network watching. Heidi, thank you for saying hi. If you notice we did not say hello to you, please, if somebody else notices them, please let us know, because it doesn't always show up, it seems, especially with Facebook, it's not. So we're not ignoring anybody, I promise. Mm-hmm. And hi, Auntie Jerry. Auntie Jerry apparently is watching, I heard, so hi.
It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
So our dear friend Jackie White is in the chat, and her sisters had this beautiful aunt who very much believed in fairies. I think she was a fairy. Actually, I think that Jackie is a fairy too.
I love Jackie. I've gotten to know her through you. I love her.
Yeah, agreed. And she's also an animal communicator as well. So for my granddaughter's birthday, they were so kind and generous and gave her some beads and jewelry making stuff and, all sorts of things. And in the little packet or the package that they gave, Lily turned 5 in June, they had wrote out the poem that their aunt used to say. Mm-hmm. Jackie is amazing. Agreed, Lois. They wrote out the poem that the aunt used to say. So I'd like to read it to you guys. It says, if you meet a fairy, remember what I say. Talk to her nicely and don't run away. She won't hurt you. She just wants to play. Show her around the garden and around the house too. They love to see the kitchen. I know they always do. So if you meet a fairy, remember what I say. Talk to her nicely and don't run away. She won't hurt you. She just wants to play.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I think our concept and our version or perception of fairies changes as we get older. Definitely my perception and belief in fairies shifted doing more of this work full time. Right. I've definitely had my own sightings and interactions with what I believe are fairies.
I've had some crazy things happen.
Yeah. But and that's what I mean as an adult, how it shifted and changed from being little and having Tinkerbell to being an adult and having very different experiences.
I just realized when you mentioned earlier that your granddaughter's totally into Peter Pan, and then after we were talking, I went, oh, right, Tinkerbell.
Yeah. So Jackie is sharing, thank you for your kind words. My aunt had special needs, such a darling influence on our family, and she remembered this poem from her school and recited it to us often.
Oh, I love that. I have a special place in my heart, as many of us do, for when we have close ones to us with special needs or we work with them. And that's so nice that you shared that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Definitely. You know what made me think when you were reading that poem? I forgot that in my old house where we had the severe haunting, I had bought a handmade fairy door and had it on the wall. And somebody had suggested, like, maybe that's actually opening a portal or something. We never found out what caused the haunting. And right. I just uploaded them if we have time. I have pictures. I was sending a picture because I actually took the fairy door off the wall and I put it into a bag of salt and warded it and what have you, just in case. It didn't make a difference, but I have pictures taken in very, very, very quick succession, like click, 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 click. First one's me. Second one is me. Third one, it's still me, but it's not my face.
Mm,
Mhm.
crazy. And Susie Parks is commenting as well too. I'm curious about last week's story regarding the fairy door,
Mhm.
which was our prompt for today. Actually, the
Mhm.
story that we had last week. So if you guys missed, we suggest you take a peek.
Yes.
Go back into the archives. The shows are up everywhere, and take a listen. We read it. We try to read the listener submissions by quarter on the hour. If you would like to send your story in, we would appreciate it. We would love to share your story, whether you want to share anonymously or not. You can send it to kerrilynnsporch at gmail.com. And last week's story was incredible,
Mhm.
regarding the fairy door.
I strongly suggest. I'm going to say we've got Wicca Noden joining us on Instagram tonight. Welcome. And also, if you are able to watch, scrolling across the bottom is the email to Carrie Lynn. The story does not have to be specific to the topic that we're speaking about as well. So just so you know that.
Yeah. Hello, Tanya Martins. Thank you for being here.
So Heidi said, I also think of the old tales like Hans Christian Andersen. Is that his name? Yes, it is. The fairy tales. And the thing is, those were kind of the real fairy tales versus the versions we see. They weren't always happy, were they?
No, and definitely to frighten children and keep them in line. Like that,
Mm-hmm.
and part of it was safety in that time period and where they lived. It was for safety, but to scare them into being mindful of the rules and boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So where do you want to start with tonight? Because I went all over the place.
Oh, Heidi, that's interesting too. The Fae giveth and the Fae taketh.
When we were talking today, though, because Carrie Lynn had a great idea, should we pull out our stones maybe to begin with? Because, and
Yeah.
I was saying, I've been having this conversation off air with quite a few people about recognizing the power within, but also recognizing that if you believe in fairies. But I say this often, and Spirit gave me this, which is, right, what we perceive becomes what we believe, and it becomes our reality. So, the movie Dumbo, for some reason, came to me when I was having this conversation with one person about the fact that, Dumbo always could fly. He just didn't realize. He thought he had to have the magic feathers, or Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. It was always within them by the end of the movie, right? The Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Lion, but they all thought they needed a special tool. Now, again, I'm not knocking tools because I think they have their place, but also recognizing we have the power within too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to talk about those a little bit? Should we pull them out, or when do you want to pull them out?
For sure we can. Sandy Cordick, hello. Thank you for being here. Sandy is tuning in from Prince Edward Island.
Ooh, I've never been there. I've always wanted to go out that way. Mm-hmm. So I brought out a whole bunch of tools.
So hagstones.
Mm-hmm.
If yeah. So hagstones, you can find them riverbeds, along banks of water. Some people find them, make jewelry out of them. There's all kinds.
Mm-hmm.
People make, and there's different purposes for them. But I thought, because we have a lot of videos that we're going to be playing,
Mm-hmm.
one of the beliefs is with the hagstone. So it's a naturally forming hole in the stone. So it's not drilled.
Mm-mm.
It is a natural forming hole in the stone.
And none of them are the same.
No. And that you are able to use it as for protection. You can use it for scrying.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it as offerings with water or smoke. You can use it for seeing dimensionally.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing into the fairy, hello Mort, into the fairy realms, or seeing the true form of a witch or the true form of a fairy. So it gives you sight.
The other thing that I rolled out a whole bunch of these because I love fairies and love working with them. I have this necklace. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. See that little stone? Right. If I can pull it up backwards here. See this little, it's a crystal that is almost like a magnifying glass. So the thought is when you want to see interdimensionally, you close your eyes. Oh gosh. Oh, and it's got a message in here too. That's got actually the kind of the it's not the serenity prayer, but it's got a message. But I think it's when you turn it the other way, but you can look and it magnifies things. And if you actually focus on it, it will supposedly show you dimensionally what's going on in the world too.
Well, that's interesting.
And then
Like hidden truths as well too, if you're using it as a scrying tool.
yes.
And then like you I don't know, whenever I've worked with it, I've always used my breath and have put my breath through it.
Of
So
course. So these are
mhm.
other things because I was going through all my little treasures that I have. These are cockle stones. I have a couple. I got to put my hagstones down, and they're supposed to be for luck, but also what drew me to them. In Welsh folklore, cockle shells are associated with mischievous fairies, and in some tales, they represent fairy treasures or forbidden secrets. Then it says also, it's mainly in Welsh folklore. Cockle shells are associated with fairies. They are sometimes believed to be fairy treasure or even represent, like I said earlier, hidden treasures, or even more represent forbidden secrets. And there are tales of fairies using cockle shells and other things like eggshells for travel, believe it or not. And there's quite a bit of information that I came across with them. So I don't know if any of your maybe you live in the UK and you can find them, or I know sometimes esoteric stores sell carry them.
Mhm.
I use them for neck. So I got it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if you, I think a big part in working with fairies or understanding fairies or even receiving a hagstone is understanding our stewardship, right,
Right.
with the planet and our connection to all that is, our connection to and being respectful of the land and inhabitants, all of them, from the bugs to the bushes to the trees, to everything around us, that we are in relationship with everything that is around us.
I'm
And so if you're
connected.
wanting to, yeah, we're all connected. In asking if there is a stone, like wherever you are, that is willing to work with you, and
Mhm.
setting that intention as you go out, and then remembering that you are creating a relationship with it. So treating all of your divination tools, even if it is this tiny little hagstone with a hole, you're treating it like a beloved friend. So you need to nurture it and keep it in alignment in order to receive the information from it, right?
And then the more that you work with it too, especially if you can keep it
Mhm.
on your person, it starts to get imbued. I always use the word with your energy too. So it
Yeah.
tends you develop that cohesive relationship is what I'm hearing from spirit. So you work,
Yeah.
you work it works better. Basically, I find the more you work with it, right? I saw
Exactly.
Sandy's comment here, and I have to ask, unless I'm not reading this right. So she's in PEI. She said, "Come on out." Thank you. And she said, I find is it Gastons or Gastons on the beach everywhere. And then she said, I find them,
Hagstones, I'm sure it's probably just the
oh, maybe, because she said, I find them along the beaches here all the time. How lucky for you. She says, I leave them beside my doorstep. So thank you, because that's what I was asking. Was I not here? I didn't understand. So it's just the darn autocorrect.
I think so.
Okay.
Sandy, their plans are in place for a PEI trip next summer.
Ooh, I love it.
Just
Good for
saying.
you. Good for
We're gonna
you.
mark our calendars and head east.
That is so cool. I have never been, with Canada being as big as it is. Oh, you guys, if Mish pops in too, Mish, our friend Mish over in Australia, it's her birthday today. So if you know her, let her know, say happy birthday. I call her my birthday twin because her birthday's the day before and mine's tomorrow. But with the time change, we kind of intersect. So, yes.
So my thought that I had today,
Mhm.
and then I had video chatted with Lorilei with my hey, I just had an idea.
And I loved it. Like all your ideas.
So we have videos to watch, and I know that we do have a large audio listenership who we appreciate very much. So we will try to let you know what we are visually seeing through the videos. We'll try to articulate that to you. But we thought it would be fun, Sandy, maybe go grab one. If anybody else has a hagstone or something, I just thought, if we set our intention to see dimensionally and we're watching some of those videos, would we see it differently than if we were watching it just in real time with our eyes? And would it appear differently with a hagstone?
I thought it was great. You always have the best ideas. And when Kerrilynn mentioned something to me, and she'll go, "What do you think? Like, do you think it's okay? When have you ever given me an idea and haven't went, oh my gosh, that's the best idea ever?"
So grab your hagstones and let's watch a few videos and see what we think. And what prompted, the story from last week is incredible. The listener submission last week, and I'm not sure. There's questions that I would ask that person. I would not want to say that for sure it's the fairy door, because I think there's so many other, we know in investigating experiences, that there's questions that we need to understand more. But
speaking of nature, I'm sorry. Of course, I had an interruption. Basil from my neighbor. Look at how beautiful. And since we're speaking of nature and fae, right? Because we do
offerings.
We do work. I do work with the fae. Like, there have been times when the garden because Dal plants a garden, I can't with my back. And he has said to me, the garden's not growing so well. And going, you forgot the crystals. And I do up like a little fairy garden every year. This is one of apparently our zucchinis. So we have to bring that up and show it off. I think he's quite proud. Sorry, I'm muted because he was yapping at me.
It's all good. And I benefited from your garden last year.
You probably will again when you come up again. Because it's just starting to get ready. I'm looking at all these fae because I got a lot of videos here. What one do you want me to start with?
So I would like to show, if that's okay, the very first one, because it was just in the news here in Canada with a grandfather in British Columbia who was reviewing his door cam and his security cam and caught something. And in that news clip, they're showing his granddaughter, and I just thought it was it's just such a great video, and it's fun watching his granddaughter's response.
Hopefully this is the news. It's the news one that you were talking about. So hopefully it's going to show his granddaughter. It should, because it's from did it come up yet? No, good. Okay, because it's from CTV, which is our Canadian news station, full screen. Okay, let me pull it up.
Hello, Kason Lee. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Kasoon. I haven't seen you in forever. Nice to see you here. It's the middle of the night in Sri Lanka right now, so we appreciate him being here too, like we appreciate all of you. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't decide to play another commercial again. Here, hang on. That's why I usually try to download them.
A man on Vancouver Island is spreading magic by pushing the boundaries of the mundane. It all started when his security camera recorded something that made him look twice. Adam Sawatsky reports.
Before he ever imagined seeing something magical, Steve McBeth installed security cameras to be purely practical.
Able to see who's been wandering around your place.
This cat visits
pretty much every night. And
Whenever the camera's triggered, Steve immediately gets a notification on his phone saying if it's a human or an animal.
all sorts of critters are constantly moving past it.
But there have been a couple times when the camera captured people.
The person that walked through the front yard had actually done some break-ins that same evening.
So when he got a similar notification the other night, Steve feared the worst.
And it said that it saw a person.
And what was the person doing?
Well, it wasn't a person.
And it wasn't one of the usual animals either.
It was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
It appeared in the left corner of the screen, a bright white dot that suddenly turned and flew straight at the camera.
Well, it looked kind of humanoid,
It looked, Steve thought, supernatural.
like it was a shimmering silver color.
A fairy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
While that magical moment was quickly replaced by a mundane explanation, it was still wonderful.
I just thought that other people would have a kick out of it as well.
So Steve took the time to post the fairy video on his local community page.
The very first one was a guy that said a rolled up newspaper would take care of that.
But after that, more than a couple people mentioned Tinkerbell. Hundreds expressed their gratitude, and tens of thousands watched the magic unfold.
Just stunned with the response to this.
But even better is seeing this video of one of his granddaughters, Isabel, watching the fairy footage for the first time in awe.
Always remember the time their goofy old granddad got himself on TV because of the fly that flew by his security camera.
Or they will never forget that time their couldn't be more wonderful granddad made the effort to make his world, if just for a moment, feel like magic.
Well, just to look for things that are unusual in life. You never know where something like that is going to pop up and be a bit of fun.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
How wonderful was that?
Right? Her face just lit up. And with the poo-pooing and saying that it's a fly and it's a bug and smush it and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know if we start talking dimensionally and vibrationally and frequency and all of those sorts of things. I think that believing in the magic is important. It is heartwarming, Susie. Carrie, thank you so much for being here.
I was
Hello,
just about
Joan.
to go down. We got a few people here. Hi, Joan. Yes, Carrie's here. She said, hi, my love. Do we have we got a comment. Do you want to read it, Kerrilynn? Is that okay?
Carrie's asking, when giving an offering to a fairy or any being, do they actually physically take them? Anyone experience that in conversation? Curious.
Yes.
I've had both experiences where it's been the frequency of what is being offered is received. So the frequency of it and physically things being moved.
I have an interesting story. We'll say hi to Camille Steffler. She says, fantastic. So I was away. I call it the Voldemort group. They went on, it was a retreat in Colorado. And is Mish here? We got to say happy birthday to Mish. She's here.
Oh, hello, Mish. Good day, good day, good day. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday twin. I already wished you happy birthday. I must have known you were going to be here. And people, if you scroll up, if you're on, they've been wishing you happy birthday too. She's in Australia, you guys. And I know I mentioned before she came on here, but that's why I call her my birthday twin. I'm just going through here. I'm in your birthday today, Mish says. So Lois says that's not a fly. Canada has huge flies.
There's Stephen King flies.
Yes. Okay, so the story was, I started to say that.
Sorry. CL Thomas, hello. Our fellow UPRN host, the Gateway Podcast.
Yes, thank you for being here, CL. Okay, so I was away on this retreat in Colorado. It was this really lovely kind of crunchy granola resort. Like everything came from the land. Yeah, but it was nice. I really liked it. And so we were all walking around the property. We'd all known each other via video, but never met in person. And so we were there, and there was this fairy hut in the back. It was like a back, not even a patio. It was huge, like a quarter, like really huge. And it had just rained, and there were spider webs all over this fairy hut. except I walked around and I was looking. There was this one tiny little hole in the spider web. Now, I swear on my son's heads, I said, oh, I think we should get the fairy house an offering. And people are going, yeah, okay, what? And somebody said, oh, I have a quartz crystal here. So there was numerous people there, I swear to you. So, because at first we didn't see the hole, and there was all this dew on the spider web, so you could see the spider web. And I said, no, there's a hole in the back. I took that crystal, put it through the hole in the spider web, started to put it into the fairy house. I swear something I could feel it grab it, and it zipped right inside the fairy house. All of us were just like, oh my gosh, like what just happened? I couldn't make that up if I tried. I know I've never had that happen. But the other thing too, I agree with you. I've had some things disappear. My crystals don't. But if you leave them something sweet, you have to be careful. We got animals and stuff. But yes, that is the belief that they just take the energy from whatever you bring them. Because not all fairies are good. We were talking about in the future, we may be talking about the not so nice fairies.
Yeah, we're going to do a dark fairy segment. And I really want to do one about the tooth fairy.
Well, I thought we were going to bring it up tonight if we get, because I think that's cool. We could do a whole show about it. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, because I think that there's like urban legends around the tooth fairy, and I've always been drawn to like the scary tooth fairy stories in movies, like
I've never heard of
Hellboy, right?
Oh, Hellboy. Yeah, I've seen Hellboy. Hellboy's good.
Right. So the tooth fairies like just eat ya.
I always think of the Tooth Fairy movie though, with The Rock when he was the Tooth Fairy.
See, I've never seen it. But
it's funny.
The one I think it's called Rise of the Guardians. So it's animated, and the Tooth Fairy there is really cute.
Oh, people are just adding. Heidi's saying that Denver's 16th Street Mall has fairy doors at most of its shops. They have a fairy door hunt game to see if you can find all the doors. Oh, that sounds so cool.
So, okay, but if we're talking about fairy doors potentially having a door, like a doorway that opens, let's. Maybe I'm reaching, but if we were using a spirit board or a Ouija board and we're saying that it opens up, and not knowing our intention or having an intention when we're doing those things, a fairy door is one of those things, like you get them in the kids craft aisle, they're at the dollar store for you to make them. Our intention is to open a door and to have that connection to the other side. So understanding how to work with them would be important, right?
Very well. Watch this. Okay, since we're talking fairy doors, okay, this was in my old house. This is me. Hang on. That's me. 1 second later, that's me. I was showing the fairy door. This is another millisecond later. That's not me. I don't know if you can see the face or not. I'll try and blow it up for you. Look at the face. It's still me, but the lips, the nose, the brow, everything is different. Yeah. Now, was that what was in my house? Or I don't think it was related to the fairy door, because to be quite honest, I didn't notice any difference taking the fairy door down. It was suggested, and we were willing to try anything. And I got to be honest with you, not that I'd lie, the only thing that worked or helped was understanding energy, and like attracts like energy, and vibration and frequency, because that definitely stopped a lot of the physical attacks. I could tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I think understanding fairies, understanding, especially if you have a heritage or your ancestors are part of that culture, right? So in understanding your own personal story and connection to the history of
but we both have Celtic ancestry, and mine is French and a bit of Métis. So Ciel's adding. She saw that recently. I think she was in Colorado, Denver, Heidi, what you had mentioned, and she then said, "I was just in Denver last week and saw that." That's cool. So what? Oh, what did the doll say? How many?
How many teeth does Tooth Fairy take when you break the agreement?
But what's the agreement?
Well, and okay, well, let's hang tight. I don't want to go down the.
Okay, we won't go down there then. We won't go down there. Okay.
But Carrie, so if you come up just before Sandy, Carrie is sharing. Yeah, I have discovered nasty fairies.
I didn't know if you want me to go there either. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. I have discovered nasty fairies, and for a time I thought they were all evil and of the devil, and not anymore. Just like humans, we have good and the challenged to be good. Agreed.
Yes, agreed. I have a story too when we do the darker fairies, and Kerrilynn knows that I've told her it before, and it was verified by two people that never talked to each other, but they both described me in what we would call a past life. And apparently I was the dark sister to Lady Titania. And I'm not trying to say I'm famous because I wasn't famous. I did know my name. The person that told me this told me what my nickname was, and I knew right away. And then when I did my crystal Reiki attunement, it's a crazy story. So when we do evil fairies, I'll tell you about it. It's a crazy, I couldn't make this stuff up.
I've had just such a loving, positive, but I know that I am very respectful and aware of the other side to that as well too. So, being very clear and understanding my intention and knowing how I go to approach working with fairies is also important. And in the garden and all of that kind of stuff is I like that, Daryl. Sorry, I was going to read it and we went sideways.
That's okay. I did too. It wasn't because you wished me happy birthday. I really appreciate that. But I hadn't seen your name pop up before, so I wanted to make sure we said hi. Well, that's just it. Let's go back to your poll for a minute, Kerrilynn. So there was 134 people. Did it give you a percentage of how many people believe and a maybe? Because there was very few people that didn't believe.
So I think that there's just under, I don't know. I think there's like 580 people in the channel. And so what was there? 20, 50. So maybe 200, just under 200 people voted, right? So I don't know. 134 said yes, and 19 said no.
Well, but that's a lot that believe in it.
Yeah, and the why. I'm always curious about the why. Is it just wanting to believe? Is it cultural? Is it growing up with that belief system? And the same with the no's. Is it a belief system? Yeah.
What you perceive becomes what you believe, and it becomes your reality. But you know what? I have a theory too. And I always say I don't know all the answers, but something that has persisted throughout the ages, and we still talk about it today, there has to be, or there had to have been some vestige of truth to it, or it wouldn't still persist.
Right. So there is a podcast on a YouTube channel that is.
Found that. Yeah, it was so cool. Yes.
That's called Modern Day Fairy Sightings, and it is a folklorist who runs it. And I listened to one of her podcasts today, and she said, a lot of stuff was derailed in order for control, right? So that we would stay in tow, like Christianity, when it came in, snuffed out a lot of, even though they incorporated pagan belief systems and rituals, tried to shut it down. So oh my gosh, where was I going with this? So there is a history of things, but then hidden. And so more things that were hidden are now being revealed, whether it is the government sharing UFO photos or Sasquatch or any of these things. So fairies the same way, even though maybe it was hidden. I think that more of it is being revealed. The same as dragons. Like we're saying that more people are having sightings of dragons. And I think that was real at one point, that was hidden for a different agenda.
I think that's a good question, Miss. Do gnomes and fairies get along? If you're asking me, it's not that they get along. I think they coexist. But I don't know. In my experience with research and stuff, I don't know. I guess that they're having a big force or soiree energetically, or it depends where you think where they exist too. In our physical planet, from what I understand, the books I've read, the research, they coexist. But if they're in a different dimension, it's not quite what it is here on Earth. So I think we can get along. What's your thoughts, Kerrilynn?
Yeah, I don't know. I've not researched enough to know, honestly, about gnomes or fairies not getting along or getting along.
I've done
I've
done some shows. Sorry about that. I don't mean to talk over you. I was going to say I've done some shows with Farla Ventura. She's usually on a couple times a year in the Angel Rock. I've introduced you to her. She's written a book all about fairies, pukwudgies, brownies, changelings, every kind of fairy you can think of. But I know in having conversations with her after shows, because she's become a really good friend over the years, and I'll say to her, well, haven't you seen this video or this video? And she says no. And then I send them to her and she's like, oh my gosh. Well, we actually, usually around Christmas, we do a show on gnomes tend to come in and a lot of stuff. And there are so many videos out there, you guys. I encourage you to take a look of gnomes caught on camera. One of the most famous I have seen. It was quite a few years ago. Before AI existed. Now, of course, Photoshop could have, but the quality of this video, it was shot by an amateur. You can tell it is a garden gnome. It's nighttime, and the garden gnome is sitting as a statue, and it turns its head and looks, and then it starts to trot off towards the stairs. She had never seen that. Her mind was blown. And again, could it be fake? Yes, but I've seen the real original footage. It is so shaky because the person is so freaked out. So somebody's really done a lot to kind of stabilize the camera, and it's quite grainy.
That's wild.
I
just always thought they had their own responsibilities, like all
exactly.
of us just coexisting, right? We just all coexist and do our thing.
So what I did pull up, if you want. Now, this is another video that went quite viral. It was filmed in 2013 over in the UK.
Good.
Yeah. Now, this is just a reel, because the video is quite long. I spent hours trying to find the real video, and I usually find not the real video, the long video of it. But this kind of gives you the gist of it. I bet you a lot of you have seen this, and we'll save your question for after we show it, Mish, if that's okay. So it's here. Give me a sec. I got to unmute it, and then we're going to blow it up as big as I can. But here we go.
Seems to have captured what looks like a fairy on camera. Let's watch.
Some there, and most of them are on the floor. Oh, yeah. What's that? Yeah. What's what?
Where?
Yeah, look. Right up there. Insect.
Is that an insect? This isn't it.
It's really hard to see on this. I can't make it bigger.
I don't know. Oh my god.
Ugh. What do you guys think? Family?
It's the way that Dad goes, oh, like,
well, if you watch the full video, they had bought this house in the UK and it was new. And the dad was spending some time with the kids. And the kids said, Dad, can we go into the forest? Because their backyard went off into this green space with the trees. And yeah, they had no idea. Like you can tell, like the dad kept going, what is that? what are you talking about? Like, you can't even see what this kid's talking about. So he starts to pull it in. Like, that's just a quick little clip of the whole thing. Afterwards, said Dad's mind is just blown. So are the kids.
And then the shape of that looks like the shape of dude from BC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, Mish is talking about fairy bread. Yes, I've heard her talk about that before in Australia. So because she's asking this question. I have an interesting question. Do you all have, or have you tried? I think it's not highlighting. I'll read it here. I mean, do you all, or have you all enjoyed fairy bread? I think I know what fairy bread is. I think you've told me before, Mish, what it is. So now you're going to have to share. Most people say they have not.
Is it with this like sprinkles all on the top of the toast?
And marshmallow fluff, I believe. Marshmallow fluff. I think that's what I've been told before. I think what it is. I could be wrong. Mish will let us know. Okay, she says, have you heard of hundreds and thousands of sprinkles you put on cakes? That's on buttered bread, and it's always at kids' parties. I've heard it with marshmallow fluff too, Mish, but the sprinkles. See, you had it. I had it. No marshmallow fluff, she says. Okay. All right. There you go. And it's good, Mish? I don't know. Would you enjoy? Well, mind you, you'll never catch me eating Vegemite.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Are you kidding? I'm like, oh, look at the pretty donuts. I'm like, anything that's sprinkly and colored, candy, anything. Oh, yes.
Yeah, but so do I like that. Like, thank God we don't live next door to each other. We run it down to Dairy Queen every night.
Yes. I come with an extra pack of sprinkles. I have jars of sprinkles in my cupboard.
And you bring snacks. You always bring the good
yes.
On the
It's always my first thought. Oh, we're going to be longer than 15 minutes. I'm going to have to pack snacks. For sure. Glitter kind of freaks me out a wee bit because, you can't get rid of it. But
you know what I've heard before? Okay, I'm not trying to be crude, but glitter is the herpes of the art world.
My son used to say that all the time to me.
Yes, yeah. So Heidi says her granddaughter has done this before. She said her granddaughter Audrey is all about the sprinkles, razzle dazzle. I still love glitter at my age. Anything sparkly, colorful, love it. So there you go. I think, Mish, you've mentioned it before about fairy bread. I don't know if you told me privately or whatever, but I've heard of fairy bread, and I was positive you have told me about it.
My granddaughter won't. She's very particular about things, so she wouldn't eat the sprinkles. And like honestly, we've offered her chocolate bars or chocolate things.
I get it. Of all people, I get it. I do.
And she just says no, and it doesn't bother her to say no, and she has no interest in it. So the sprinkles, she loves decorating with the sprinkles, but she will not eat any of it.
My son Justin used to only ate 6 foods, but you know what he would eat? Vanilla donuts from like the white colored ones, but they taste like vanilla with white frosting, and they had rainbow sprinkles. And so he would have them. He wouldn't have them very often, but if I went to real Canadian thing, Tim Hortons, and yes, I know it's spreading out around the world, but I'd say, would you like some rainbow donuts? He'd go, yes, Mom. So Kassoon's asking questions. Fairies don't have wings, right? I have no idea.
I thought they did.
I believe that they do, but and that's how they're always depicted. So we have Wolfus YouTube here saying something about green but welcome. Nice to see you here. And then Mish is saying, I love the water. Oh, sorry, I almost blocked you there, Mish. Clicking on you. Sorry. It says, I love the watercolors that sparkle.
So, does the question come from a belief system as well too? Because there is the belief system that angels are fallen, or that fairies are fallen angels. So if they're fallen angels, do they keep their wings or do they lose their wings? Angels have wings. We believe that angels have wings.
I don't, but I was taught that as a child. I always say I went to church from being in the womb, and forced to go to Catholic school and what have you. And again, I've heard and seen experiences with angels, like captured on video or whatever, with wings. Again, I think it's what you perceive becomes what you believe in your reality, as well as my understanding, speaking with spirit, if somebody believes an angel has wings, and for some reason you are going to interact with an angel, that they would appear to you that way. I've especially seen it in terminal care as a nurse. When somebody's in their last day or two and they see a lot of their loved ones, or they may see angels, and if they're able to tell you, I've had patients say they have wings. So, because this is a good question, Mish asks, okay, so why do they need fairy dust to fly? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I thought that somebody else is just mentioning to you, I thought that was just Tinkerbell, but I've never, like, fairy dust, is it part of a, like, stories that were told, and then it became just part of the or is it really part of their story? I don't know.
So the one thing I can say, and I do have a video, I didn't know if we're going to get to it or not. It's 15 clips about angels, and I have seen these. A friend of mine, Augie Nost, he has Broadcast Team Alpha with Lori Love. They're both friends of mine, but they on his previous website, I believe they've moved it all over to Broadcast Team Alpha website now. He has strange and unusual things captured, pictures on Earth. And they have found, and it's not just been one, they found little teeny tiny skeletons, look just like a human, with wing, like the wings look like it's not quite bone. Well, I guess it would have to be almost looking like wings behind them. And this is long before Photoshop, long before AI. Like, where did they come from?
So I've seen fairies twice, and once, so both times around that twilight hour,
Mm-hmm.
and once was like as I was walking,
Yeah, I've seen them. Mm-hmm.
in the garden, and it was lit up like a
Mhm.
ball of light, but there were what I
Wings.
perceive as wings, and they
Yeah.
were small, but it made me like double take, but there was 3 at that one, and then the other time was a different whole
I
different.
believe they have wings, but then again, you know what? If you don't believe they have wings and you experience something that you believe to be a fairy, and I'm thinking of Kassoon, maybe you see some strange lights. I would believe it would be around nature or flowers or a garden or out in a forest, and they don't have wings. I always ask people, because I always say, I don't know all the answers. How did it make you feel? What did you think? And I ask them rather than me telling them what I believe it to be, because they were the one that was experiencing it. I can certainly tap in energetically as well, but I want to know, what are your thoughts? What did you feel? Thank you, Wiz. I was looking at the time. Good
So
thing.
Michelle Wilfong, just before we get there, Michelle Wilfong is sharing, I have a video when the fairy flies, it leaves a glittery, sparkly trail behind it. And so is it energetic? Like,
I have a video, and I was going to upload it, but I didn't, from my backyard. Now, of course, the doll is very, very skeptical, and I believe it's good to be skeptical. It's like you can see other bugs. There's even a spider web up above the camera that kind of blows in, but there's this energetic looking type of thing. You can't tell if it's a bug or not. It looks like a little white light, and it flies very erratically all around. Then it goes off the camera, comes back on, but as it passes by our barbecue that's covered, you start to see almost an energy vapor trail, and then it flies around, and all of a sudden it starts to disappear. And it disappeared. It did not fly off camera, and it left an energy trail behind it. Now, what was it? I'm not saying it's a fairy.
It went, whoop.
Yeah, it's gone. I sent it to you, but I send you so many videos, and you have
I watched it. I know which one you mean.
You know what one? Okay, yeah. And so, like, I could have said it was a bug until it came back up, and it was the same type of light, And so I thought you would remember it, Kerrilynn. And it goes in a circle, but it's got like a vapor, almost energy, sparkly trail behind it. It's not that long. And then as it just makes a turn, it just goes whoop, like you said, just disappears. Mm-hmm.
Do you, yes, station ID. Are you doing station ID or am I doing station
Sure,
ID?
I'll do station ID. What were you going to say first, and then I'll do station ID.
I don't remember. It is about the videos.
Yes. So if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to UFO, Paranormal, and United Public Radio Network. You can hear us on 105.3 FM out of the Gulf Coast in Mississippi and 107.7 FM out of the beautiful city of New Orleans. And this is, I almost said my show, Up Beneath the Hollow Moon. And again, this is UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. I'm one of your hosts, Lorilei Potvin, and this beautiful lady to my left, or if you're listening, is Kerrilynn Shellhorn. And we're so glad that you're joining us. If please stay tuned, because the second night after this, which will be done in just over half an hour, is the lovely Michelle DeRoche, who is our spirit switchboard. I'm saying spirit switchboard for you. My brain is not working. I keep thinking it to mention it. Kerrilynn hosts Spirit Switchboard on Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now I got that out of my brain. Michelle DeRoche is our station manager as well. And she has 2 nights with the Outer Realm on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. And she has Beyond the Outer Realm on Tuesday afternoons from 2:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'd like to thank her for everything she does for us, as well as St. Joe Montaldo, who is the owner of our network. We've been around for 25 plus years, and we hit every country in the world. And we're very grateful for everybody that listens and follows. Just note that not everything is UFO-y and paranormal. We have something for everybody on this network. We are always bringing new hosts, new shows. Did I forget anything? I'm going off the top of my head here. I think I remembered everything.
UPRNradio.com.
Thank you. Thank you.
UPRN Radio. UPRN Talk Radio, sorry, UPRNtalkradio.com to follow along with our hosts, shows, upcoming shows. There's always something new, and we are getting a new website, potentially a merch store.
Yes. Yes. So there's always something new on here. And then, you guys, we are live 24 hours a day. So we have multiple shows streaming live 7 days a week. But when we're not, the archive server kicks in. So you get to hear hosts from the last 25 plus years. And again, there's always cool and new stuff on here. So it's not all just the spooky ooky or spiritual or anything like that. We've got all kinds of different content for you.
That's right. So Michelle Mish was sharing that at her work there was a fairy ring, and a coworker stepped into the center and said, "Come get me, get me." And her ankle broke, and she is still limping today. So, and that comes back to intention, right?
So, what is a fairy ring in your eyes versus what they're saying there? What would you believe to be a fairy ring? Because somebody asked that. Have you seen a fairy ring? What is it?
So I've seen mushroom rings.
That's what I've heard.
And I've seen a fairy ring. Well, I feel like it's a fairy ring, but it was just a ring. There wasn't mushrooms, but there could have been mushrooms at one point, and then the mushroom's not there. But I do feel portals.
So do I. But I've heard of them, but they're always defined differently. So, Mish, what would your friend have considered to be the fairy ring in Australia? Oh, God, I highlighted everything over there. That would be really interesting to hear. Or anybody else from around the world. We've got people even that we can see in the chat that are adding, their thoughts and ideas. Let us know. What do you guys think a fairy ring is in the neck of the woods that you're in? So let's see. Oh, boy, I was way behind. Heidi's mentioned you could step into a portal and maybe go to another dimension.
My grandma used to say that the mushrooms were dinner tables.
Oh, that's so cute. Because you always see them like with gnomes and fairies, mushrooms, right? Mm-hmm. You always do. Okay, I'm going to go down to the bottom of our comments here so I don't miss anything. So Mish says group of mushrooms. Go ahead.
We moved here 8 years ago, and we have fairy rings show up every spring along the front somewhere of the house, in the garden, and 2 in the back every year.
Wow. I can't say then that we've necessarily had fairy rings per se, but the garden, there's all kinds of strange things like I uploaded a few things with strange things, and again, I'm not looking for them. We have security cameras, and whenever there's movement or somebody comes on the property, it starts to film. So I've just caught these randomly, anything off of the security camera, kind of like our gentleman at the beginning. Like, he caught it off his security camera. He wasn't looking for it. Heidi's adding the outer realm tonight is Brian Bowden, Dogman. So thank you for sharing, Heidi, about that. Let's see. Were you going to say something?
You had another video from your backyard with.
Yeah.
Did you want to show that? And we had one of our lovely folks in the chat.
Heidi.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to find mine now. Where did I put it? Caught on my own security camera. There it is. Okay, give me a sec. I got to stop it. Now, this is from the front, not the back. It's not very long. Okay, stop there. Did you stop? Okay, good. Give me 1 sec, guys, and I will pull it up. This is, again, I catch all kinds of things in the sky, you name it, around my house. And I usually just film it. I don't know what it is. I just go ahead and film it and mark the date and the time. Julie Jean Bassett has definitely shared in with me about something caught the night of the November full moon. Is that that was, I don't know what that thing was.
Right. So we're not talking about the other thing like this at the beginning to the left-hand side. It's at the very end of that video that makes it interesting. Right.
Yeah.
Now. That.
I didn't upload it, but I have actually slowed that video down to the point of it and tried to take pictures. I've shared them with you. I don't know what that thing is on it. I have no idea what that is. Now, is it a bug? Is it a bird? It doesn't look like anything like that to me, so I have no idea what that is.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. When you notice interesting stuff, that's what I would suggest, is just mark it. If you see it, film it. I don't try to define it. Like, I was going through, my phone is almost full, and I was going through some old videos today. I have a video that there is something flying through the afternoon sky so high up. It is a disc. It's leaving a bit of a vapor trail. There is no noise. There is no sound. I have no idea what this thing is. I just filmed it and said,
Thunder Bay.
Maybe one. Yes, Thunder Bay.
High strangeness at every turn.
That's right. Yeah, Julie's saying she remembers that November full moon. Yes. Okay, what one do you want me to pull up next? Do you want me to do our friend Heidi here who sent us some? Okay, give me a sec. I have them. I have so many, you guys. We have a lot. Oh, I think I went too high here. Wait, hang on.
So, okay, soon. Fairy abductions are an interesting thing because there is a theory that maybe the fairy abductions or fairies, like the thief in the night, the fairies taking your children, like used to be a thing, right? Taking your babies in the middle of the night, or that fairies were actually aliens.
Oh, I've heard that before too, you know. I don't know if I can make this bigger. It's pretty small, Heidi.
So Josh Kutch has wrote about that. He was on my show. He's been on Michelle's a couple of times. I think he was just recently on Preston and Dolly's show as well too.
Oh, cool.
What is Preston and Dolly's show's name?
The Light Gate. The
Light Gate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and it's super interesting. And they also talked about, Preston also talked about like, there is the don't eat the fairy food or you'll be stuck in their realm, right? If you go energetically, or you are traveling dimensionally and you go into the fairy world, to not eat the food because you'll get stuck there. And then there's a correlation to aliens as well too. If aliens there are reports of people saying like you're not supposed to eat food if aliens give it to you. So is it aliens? Is it fairies? Is it all one thing?
I don't know. I'm just going to give a shout out to Kim it looks like it almost looks like Kim Mind BQ joined us on Instagram. Welcome. But I thought this was an interesting question or comment because it's going along with what you said. Kasoon said, and then there are fairy abductions. I don't know. You know what? There's so many unusual, strange, and unexplainable things that happen in our world. Sorry, I'm trying to find this. I went way too high up. That, like I say, I just document it and keep it for, sometimes it comes up that you have I for some reason, it does not want me to unhighlight your comment there. Here, we found it. There we go. So I don't know. I've never run into a story. Oh, Mish says she sent me a video from her camera. Not fairy, but odd. If you send it to me, Mish, I'll look for it. Hang on, okay? Because I got my messenger open. But that's just it, right? That's why it's so cool that we have people from all over the world here, because it's nice to hear what are your beliefs that you've come across, or have you seen stuff like this? Or because it's always, especially with Kasoon here, because they have I have found, and I love that you do this, Kasoon, you share your belief systems or myths and legend and lore from the area that you're in the world in Sri Lanka. So we get a different perspective. Okay, so this is one of Heidi's videos. So hang on. I'm going to try and make it bigger for you guys once I start playing it. So give me a sec. Play. Make it bigger. You notice the cat looks at it too, eh? It's replaying again, but yeah, watch the cat. And the thing, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It looks like it's got an energy vapor trail, like, because I can see it really blowing up. Now, there'll be people that'll say it's a spider web, but as I was putting my face really close to the camera, I don't know. It's really, really, really unique. Whatever the heck it is, it's very, very unique looking. What did you think, Kerrilynn, when you saw it?
Okay, so ask me what I think is always like, I always have questions. What time of day was that taken?
It might have said on there. I didn't check.
Sorry,
Heidi, what time was that?
It's cool. Again, interesting.
And thank you for sharing. Oh, Mish just sent me a video. Hang on. Let's see. Well, do you want me to share Mish's? She says she's not saying it's a fairy, but it's something unusual caught on camera.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. Hang on. I got to stop it and get all this stuff to behave itself. We love to see stuff like this. This is why, you guys, we ask you for your stories. Doesn't have to relate to what we're talking about, right, Kerrilynn?
Yeah. And then Heidi, I always have lots of questions. Is it full moon? Is it what time, during the month was that? Is there a significance to the date maybe that's important to you that we wouldn't know about? Like, I always end up having lots of questions. It's interesting.
This is cool. So Kasoon sharing, we don't have fairies, but I think he meant to say angels. I don't know, or maybe it is tree angles. I don't know, but I believe it's probably tree angels. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. He said, I don't know if that's the same thing or not. I think it's kind of cool.
I think so.
Angel, he meant to say angels, he said. So Mish says whatever she has is towards the beginning of the video. So let's show it. Hang on, play. And so this was July the 1st. So this Canada Day. I know you're not in Canada, and it says 2023 at 1:03. I'm going to say a.m. because it's dark. You let me know if I'm wrong. Here. Is it playing? Okay, good. So, Mish, it doesn't look like anything's moving. So I got to ask you, what part is it? The thing
It
that...
says
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
she said towards the end. There you go.
Oh, I spoke too soon. I'll let it play one more time without me yapping.
Those are both really great videos. Thank you so much, Heidi.
Oh my goodness, that was intriguing. Wow, that's just insane. Like, would you like that? Actually, if you see that blown up,
Mish, even if you think it's a bug, it's still pretty cool.
I can't say that was.
I don't think it's a bug, but
there's an energy trail behind it as it goes by. Okay, Heidi says, "Oh wow, Mish, I call them smears. I've seen them on my ceiling." Interesting. Oh, Kasoon thinks it's a UFO. I haven't heard you yet say tonight, Kasoon, about the Bigfoot in my closet. Usually that's what Kasoon says if there's weird noises or EVPs. So have you got a video you want me to play too? Because these are really, really interesting. Because I even went into you guys for information, and we just love to chat about, you know, involving you guys in the conversation. I even got into Lord of the Rings, like were the hobbits considered fairies? What else? I kind of went all over the world. Did you find out any more interesting facts at all? So we got to save time, I know, too, for our story. But did you find any interesting facts from today? Because I even got into the little people with First Nations in particular.
Yeah, a little bit of about Cherokee fairy encounters. But again, like we always end up having so much that we can keep going, right?
How about, can I share this one? It's an urban fairy encounter, a 2023 account from a hiker in Oregon, shared on a folklore blog, describes seeing a shimmering figure near a waterfall, which vanished when approached. The hiker linked it to the Native American little people stories, though skeptics attributed it to light refraction or imagination. I believe that because we have a legend here with Kekabeka Falls, not a little people, but a First Nations princess. So, okay, so this is something Cindy wanted to share. She said, "Go ahead."
Cindy Waghorn is sharing, I'm sure if I went to my mom's, I could find my brownies and Girl Guide books and Sprite to pin, etc. It was definitely a big part of the stories as small kids groups.
Yes, I hear you. I agree. No, Christine's asking whatever happened to Bigfoot in my closet. No, because, you know, we really don't see. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Have you seen many movies as of the last, say, 10, 15 years about fairies or things like that?
Well, I off the top of my head, I'm not remembering stuff, but that's how I roll. I need to see things, but definitely like TV shows like Carnival.
I forgot about that. That was all about the fae.
Right.
There was one from Canada. I forget what it was called, something girl, and it was all about the fae and the lichens. It wasn't Lost.
I know, like it's Disney, but they cut her wings off, and then and Angelina Jolie did such a great job. I cry. I still cry every time I watch with Lily and they take her wings.
I think it was called Lost Girl, that series. It was all about a woman who was called a succubus. But remember, they had the fae and the lichens in there as well.
So I tuck that information away because they are vampiric-like fae that
for the evils. Shall we say them for the evils?
Saving it for the dark fairy.
Okay.
Segment. Not that we had like this was a light fairy. This was our focus was about modern sightings, right? Like,
They put so many things, like I have a comparison of fairy traits across cultures. Um, the podcast came up that you mentioned because this kept coming up. The original, the Cottingley fairies legacy. Do you remember that story, you
Yep.
guys?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Wiz, movie Willow. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Because I'm going through some of my info that I had down here, because I really wanted to know too, like the Lord of the Rings, some of the stuff that came up in my research. The elves were considered to be part of the Fae, because I was thinking more or less the hobbits too, right? Like, what were they? Hang on, I gotta take that off the screen. Give me a sec here. Or you did. Good girl. Thank you. So, I'm still reading here. Yeah. Oh, so this is what I got just as a overall on modern relevance. Fairies remain popular in modern media, from Tolkien's elves to Disney's Tinkerbell, but their roots are far more complex and diverse. They reflect humanity's attempt to understand the unseen forces around us, blending wonder with caution. And then it talks about the different stories that persist and so on and so forth. So I thought it was kind of interesting.
It's interesting. Oh, you're right. Barbie and Fairytopia. Like, my granddaughter watches all of those.
I never saw the Barbie movie, but that's interesting. Fairytopia. It still persists to this day. Like, I know for Halloween, I have my skeletons all hang up, and I've made them fairy wings to hang with the fairy wings.
Wolfus is sharing Leviathan.
Well, Leviathan are kind of evil. I don't know if I'd ever think of them as part of the fairy realm, but I forgot about this.
Fairly godparents.
No,
Those are older as well too, but all of it starts young, right? We get it all like super young.
No, but there was a cartoon called the Fairly Odd Parents, and they were fake.
Yeah, I remember that, but that's what I'm saying. Like we get those stories told to us very young through those sort of cartoons and books, and then as we get older, our perception changes, because then we have like.
I did have another clip, but we can save it for another time. They actually slowed down that picture of the fairy that was caught on the camera in 2013, because the one thing I added was, I've never seen somebody debunk that video. Now, the one that's out there, and I told you about this earlier today because the Dell and I had found this years ago. There is a channel out there that the gentleman, it looks like real fairy stuff in the UK. I had a little video of it, and it's behind him and all over. But as you start to see some of his stuff, you start to think, something's not right on here. But the scenery is beautiful. He's over in the UK. He doesn't go by his real name. And there was a debunker out there that covered this gentleman's channel. And I have to give him so much credit. Both Adele and I kept saying, you know what? He did this in the most nicest of ways. So this gentleman was able to debunk these fairy videos that the gentleman that pretends, he even uses a pseudonym, they're fake. And so he uncovered this gentleman's name. His real name is Paul something. And he is a digital creator. So back in the early days of Photoshop. But what I loved about this debunker was he said, you know what? And that's okay. Because you people can still, like so many people, enjoy the scenery and the magic and the wonder behind it. Like, he didn't call him out for being a faker. He was really...
Oh, yeah. And understanding what the intention.
Yeah. And I thought that was great. I really, really thought that was great. Should we do our story? Sorry.
Yes. Okay. I was just going to say, we need to be mindful of our time and do our listener submission.
Yes. Are we allowed to say the name or no?
I believe so.
Okay. I know I've read their story before. Here, I'll pull it up on my phone because I'll see it better. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec here. I have it in Messenger glasses. Where are you here? So I can see Getting old, jokingly. I said age is just a number, right? Okay, give me a sec here. It's here. So this is from our good friend, Kevin, who otherwise is known as Z Sun Dragon. Here, I'm pulling it up, guys. Give me a sec. So, winter tale number 1, house. As I lay in the living room at my parents' place in Glencoe, I was having some issues at my apartment, so I opted to spend the night there for peace of mind. I did get Kevin right? That's Kevin's, right?
Sun
Okay.
Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, spend there the night there for peace of mind. Above the couch, there were 2 small windows. I was looking at the night sky, watching the dark clouds dance by. My parents were in bed, and it was about 4 a.m. I could see it began to snow and soon became hypnotizing to watch, so I drifted off to sleep. About an hour had gone by, excuse me, and I suddenly woke up. So, so abruptly that the entire room spun as I sat up and then lay back down, still half asleep. Suddenly it felt cold, even though the electric heat was on. An image began to form, hovering inches above me. Floating there was a man with dark hair and a dark beard. Nobody that I recognized either. He was clearly an apparition of sorts, a ghost, I thought. No, it did not feel like a ghost, more like someone's astral projected. No such spirit was ever seen in my parents' place. This was something that came to me non-related to the dwelling. He just floated there inches above me, and I could feel his breath on my face for moments, and then he faded as though he could no longer hold the form. I realized I was again in a dream state, even though I recall waking up. A dream inside a dream? Yes, that. Again, I woke, the room spinning as it did earlier, and I sat up and was baffled by the entire experience. That's the whole story, right? Or do you want me to do one more?
There's 2. There's story 1 and story 2.
That's what I thought. Okay, so Winter Tales number 2, Visitors in the Snow. Staring out of my apartment's main door window, watching the light, fluffy snow coming down. It was the type of snow that makes a blanket in the sky and brings a warmness to the air. Across the street, I could see a similar main door from an apartment I once lived in. There I was in a time spin again. I could see my younger self and my own reflection in the window. Looking into my own eyes, it was as though I was looking at my prior self while my prior self was looking at me. Suddenly there was a knock at the door, breaking my trance-like state of mind and bringing me back to the current time. I stood there, already at the door, to see who was there. At first, I saw nobody. Then 2 images began to form. A young girl and guy stood there, excuse me, in vision-like form. Still, as often are in such sightings, very vivid details. I stood there staring at them in awe through the window. Her long dark hair was pulled back in a tight ponytail and slightly wet from the falling snow. It was such a shiny black color. I watched a drop of snow water roll from her forehead and vanish from her bare neck into her winter hood. Then my eyes shifted to him. Dirty blonde hair, shoulder length with lighter highlights, again very shiny in appearance, like hers but opposite color. Just then noted their differences. She was tall, he was short. Her skin was pale, his tan. I watched what seemed like the same drop of water slide across his forehead, down his cheek, proceed down his neck, and disappear into his shirt, collar, and jacket. Then my eyes shifted back to the girl, and I saw she was chewing bubble gum. She blew a bubble. Then it fully popped. Back to reality. I found myself standing with the door open and the wind picked up. In the prior scene, it was not windy with the snow so calmly coming down. I quickly shut the door, and as it slammed, I could hear the 2 laughing in echoes as though they were running down my veranda staircase. I even reopened the door and looked again, as it all seemed so real. No footprints in the snow, nobody there, and now complete silence and a winter storm in full force. I shut the door quickly. I was not sure who those 2 were, but they sure felt familiar. I thought of them when I used to live across the street and the time in between, a good 20 years really. Who were these travelers? Question mark. Visitors? Question mark. I know I encountered them before. Now, another 5 years later, I have come to have confirmation of them as part of my team of spirit guides. They have grown over time, but I can still hear their childlike laughter in the wind and snowstorms to this day. Those are cool stories.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
For sharing.
Hi, Garnet. Is it McCleary Price? Welcome.
So Garnet is sharing a tarot reader, Scott Scorpio Sun, goes by live show one night. A fairy flew into him and around him, caught live.
Wow. Do you have a link to that, Garnet? That would be so cool. Because we're going to do another show on fairies again. I'd love to see that. If you could send it. Do you want to tell people where they can share their stories and everything again too, Kerrilynn?
Yeah. Your unexplainable stories, your stories of high strangeness, ghostly encounters, we would love to hear it. Please send your stories to Kerrilynn, Kerrilynn's Porch, KerrilynnS Porch, PORCH at gmail.com. And we are planning on doing a best of or one night where it's just all stories that you guys submit and share with us. Mm-hmm. And we'll just do a whole segment of listener submission stories and share our own personal stories as well too.
We've got some great ideas for you guys for shows, but if you've got something you want to see us talk about, please let us know. We were talking about it. I was so lucky to meet Joni Templeton Skinner from Kerrilynn. She was on the Angel Rock this week. And we said that we're hoping, and we're going to try and plan this in the near future, to have Joni on this show with the two of us. I think it'll be a riot.
I think so too. I think so too. Tomorrow on Spirit Switchboard at 6 p.m. Eastern, it is a replay with Paul Wilde. It is about his book, Jim Morrison, Secret Occult Teacher.
Oh,
so
cool.
All about Jim Morrison being a secret occult teacher.
That is crazy. No, I gotta.
Oh my gosh, Carrie, you send as many as you want.
Yes,
as many stories as you want.
I'm trying to take a picture of that. Hang on, you know what? Give me a sec here. What I'm going to do is copy and paste that. Hopefully, I can do that because it's going by so quick. Let me see. Will you let me copy it? Let me copy it. No, you're not going to let me.
Thank you, Heidi. I really enjoyed that show as well too. Paul is very fascinating.
Oh, good. I want to watch it. Great show, ladies. You have a great rest of your night. We feel the same way about you. So you've got a replay on tomorrow night. Don't go anywhere. If you guys are enjoying the programming here tonight and every night, we stream live several shows 7 days a week. And then the archive server kicks in if we're not live. But we have the second night of the Outer Realm with the amazing Michelle DeRoche. And I know that Heidi posted, please forgive me, I can't think, all I can remember is Dogmen. So something about Dogmen with the guests. Michelle always has the best guests. Oh, Garnet, I've seen you before. You said that you are in the UK. Yes, you are, and welcome. Anyways, on the Angel Rock, I have a new guest coming on. I believe it's either paranormal or UFO we're going to be talking about. So look forward to that. Otherwise, we haven't decided what we're doing next week. We didn't decide.
No.
You guys always know we're going to surprise you. We always are, right?
We can surprise you. Do you want me to take us out?
Please do. Yes.
Right. So thank you so much for being part of the chat. We appreciate all of you being here. Thank you to Joe Montaldo, the owner of our network, to Michelle DeRoche, our station network manager. We appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you to the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 in the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans. So thank you for joining us on Beneath the Hollow Moon. And until next week, step back into the shadows, and whatever you do not follow the whispers.
We love y'all. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a good one.